All right. Yes, dear ones. And this is Tara. And what a pleasure it is to be with you today. Certainly so. We took a moment to connect more deeply with your higher selves, your souls, your spirits, as we often do, to connect also with your optimal future self who already exists in dominion in the new world that you are designing, that you are co creating with God and Goddess. As you allow yourself to know this is for you, this physical plane is for you. It is an illusion, though when you are in it, it doesn't feel like an illusion necessarily. But as you've been working in the more real, you have come to understand the difference. And you also understand that when you change something in the more real, it changes out here. The illusion shifts and changes with you. That principle is the core of being a conscious reality creator, as you each are, as map makers, as magicians. You are here to reflect the change that is happening within. And so when there's something out here that is disruptive or disturbing or distracting, perhaps, to go within is the first step. To go within, to detach from out there, and then to ground the energy, and then to look to see what about this is impacting me. And is it triggering something familiar? When it is familiar, you can be sure it is the child or the adolescent that need attention. But when it is an unknown that is triggering you, then it is about becoming more. It is about growing and expanding and learning something new. The exploration is the key. For that is who you truly are. You are here to grow, to expand. You are not here to be static, to achieve a perfect state. For as you have grown and changed over these many years, the high points, the zenith of your growth is always those moments when you have moved beyond the familiar into a new state of being, where you have explored something that brought you joy in ways you had never expected. Or perhaps you have had a transcendent experience. And within that transcendence, a sense of peace and belonging and oneness that before that moment perhaps seemed elusive. Perhaps you didn't even know how you shifted and changed. But then the work becomes reflection, comes to look to see, can I quantify my experience? Once you have the shift and the change occurs in an instant, but then the effects of the change occur as a ripple in time and space. And then you go to explore. All right, I know that I have changed because this is different or that is different. And you verify it for yourself. And along the way, you may choose the change that occurred, or you may choose to undo it. You can always revert, if you want to a different state. You can choose to be comfortable over that new growth that you chose. There is that boundary of image that is the beliefs, the basket of beliefs that we refer to, where when you go beyond it, you stretch your image, you become more, but you will also find that you are still carrying resonances from the prior image, from the identity that you hold, from the lesser self, who is made up of the inner child and the inner adolescent, and needs to be addressed. There's something about the beliefs of the child or the adolescent that are limiting you because they were choosing those beliefs to be safe or to belong. Whereas now you are choosing something new as the spiritual adult to grow, to expand, to become something new, someone new. And so what pops up is what cannot go with you into the new state of being. What must you address? What must you forgive? What must you change? What must you let go of? And that shows up as a sort of resistance. Perhaps you even get angry about it. Perhaps you get frustrated with yourself. Why can't I just let this go? Why can't I just move forward? Why does it have to be difficult? And all those judgments pop up because you don't understand what's popping up. But as you take a moment to reflect and to look to see what is actually going on, instead of making it mean that you have failed to grow and change, instead, treat it as, oh, this is completely natural. Of course, I just expanded myself. And so what's popping up is what is not a resonant match to the new me. That is not what you were taught. What you were taught along the way is when the reality is giving you resistance or failure or trouble, that there's something wrong with you, that you didn't do it right, that you missed something, that you should have been more conscientious or different from who you naturally are. That was taught by your society. It was taught by the school system. It was taught by your parents. They meant well, of course, because they just wanted to force you to improve yourself from their standpoint. So now you have to undo that learning. It was appropriate for the child, it was appropriate for the adolescent, but now that you are a spiritual adult, it is no longer appropriate. That the first line of defense, so to speak, is judgments, which can very quickly turn into, can go two ways. You can either numb out and stall your progress, or you can dump shame on yourself and explain it all away because there's something wrong with you or with the method or with the reality or with others around you. But instead, we want you to begin to conscientiously, or consciously rather, reframe it to, I just expanded. I know I did because I felt different. I felt more connected with my higher self. I felt more aware and more open and available to God and Goddess, where I felt my soul flow through me and into my world, a beautiful resonance. And within that resonance was integrity and peace and belonging and love and all the things that I know I've been seeking. And then when something pops up, to be conscious that, oh, my higher self is showing me what there is to change, what there is to let go of, what there is to set down. And each of you are able to do that more easily now than ever before. It is no surprise that your reality is shifting and changing, and that there's more intensity out there for you to react to. So there's more dramatic contrast in the political and economic arena. There's more intensity in the earth changes. Now, if you follow the thought that whatever's here now must in the future increase, it's not really the way it works. It could. You could, in a sense, we are teaching you that your next step is one of growth and expansion. And so growth and expansion do imply that along the way, with no matter what you focus on, you will get more of. Except that we also teach the future creates the present against a backdrop of the past, which is mutable, which is changeable. As you heal your past, as you address what your child needs, changing your adaptive child, allowing your child to become the free child, working with your adolescent, the wounded adolescent, doesn't need to stay wounded for you to get the value from your wounding. Helping your adolescent heal and become more integrated, more curious, more full of wonder, to restore the qualities of the time of eternal youth, doesn't rob you of what there is to learn from your wounding. As you let that in, oh, I'm free to let my inner adolescent heal and change. And I can continue to work on the meaning that I gave my wounding until I'm done with it. Until I have restored what needs to be restored from my dark shadow. But don't keep your adolescent captive in that past. You are multidimensional. You can have an experience of your curious adolescent and your wounded adolescent in your past. You have that level of complexity available to you. You may need to sit with the paradox of it. And as you have learned from Lazar, sitting with paradox allows something from the liminal, something from in the silence, in between the worlds, to allow you to hold both concepts and find solutions. And at some point, you will be done with your wounding. And as we have often said, the wounding is a similar resonance, similar energy, not the same circumstances, but similar energy in all your lifetimes. So when you heal your wounding, you heal it for all your lifetimes. Now, some of the resistance you feel while you work with the wounding could be other lifetimes resistance. Oh, I can't really be done with this. Don't I need it? You do need a wounding. But as Lazarus has said, it was never meant to be as painful as it has been for you. Now, what we have added to that is to really let in this lifetime. You are at the furthest most point of separation. In that separation is more pain until that pain is resolved, until that separation is answered, until the longing for is addressed. Yes. So important to work with your wounding. And so we'll do a meditation because we've just dredged up all this energy, this opportunity. You have so much intensity in your world right now available to you. Let's apply it where you need it. Let's help your adolescent move beyond the wounding, and perhaps to gather some gems from the dark shadow while you're at it. And so when you're ready, just lean back or lie down. And gently close your eyes as you prepare to enter an altered state of mind we call meditation. Now, this meditation is not about re-experiencing pain. If the pain hasn't been healed, we need not have you revisit it. You are living it. But most of you have resolved the pain. And now it's a matter of anchoring that curious adolescent so that you allow that aspect of you to be more for you and for them. And so just breathe in a gentle breath of relaxation. And on the exhale, release the stress and strain from your day. Breathing in more relaxation. Let that relaxation flow into you to swirl around and release the tension that might be there in the muscles, in between the space, between the cells, and even deeper. Breathing in more relaxation. On the exhale, the energy flows throughout your body, flowing down your shoulders, down your arms, and out your fingertips. Breathing in more relaxation. On the exhale, feel the energy flow into your heart chakra and past your diaphragm down into your belly, expanding your third chakra, flowing deeper, expanding your second and your first chakras, flowing past your hips and down your legs. The energy flows as you breathe in more relaxation. On the exhale, the energy flows as you go deeper and deeper. The energy flows out the tips of your toes. We will count from 10 to 1. With each descending number, you'll go deeper and deeper. Breathing gently in and out. We will count from 10 to 1. With the count of 1, you'll find yourself in your safe place. Your safe place may be a beautiful place in nature or a room of your own design. Familiar, beautiful, and safe. Continue to breathe gently in and out. 10, 9, 8. Going deeper, letting go. 7, 6, 5. Begin to sense safety around you. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You are there. Feel the tingles on the soles of your feet as the earth energy rises up to greet you, swirling around you and within you, grounding you in safety. As you open your mental eyes, see what safety is made of for you. Sense the colors, bright or dim, and the light of day or night. Let it be your favorite time. And as you move about your safe place, notice the boundary, near or far. It may be the same as it always is, that reinforces your sense of safety. Or perhaps things have changed for you and the boundary has adjusted so that you feel more safe in the changes that are happening for you. And so just notice the boundary. Do not judge the way it is and what it might mean about you. Allow it to do its work to create a depth of safety. And as you move about your safe place, notice the beautiful objects you've placed there from your many journeys. A beautiful crystal, a mantle of magic, a staff of power, symbols, sigils, a message from your dreamer, a blueprint from your Syrian magician. Perhaps there is a chalice. Perhaps in the corner of your eye, you see the movement of your familiar. Explore safety and invite your higher self to join you. And there, at the edge of safety, a beautiful being of light appears. Or perhaps your higher self comes in personified form, familiar to you. As you approach each other in greeting, feel the love, the unconditional love your higher self has for you. As your heart opens wide, your mind expands in the presence of higher self. Perhaps you embrace or hold hands or just be together, whatever is your way. Today, an opportunity to work with your inner adolescent, to understand the wounding. For you are ready to move beyond the pain of the wounding. For pain is a reflection of where you feel separate. Separate from self, separate from soul, separate from God, Goddess. And the wounding did have impact, perhaps even more than you knew. And so today, to review where you are at about your wounding is a valuable exercise. If you have healed enough, that will come. That will be clear. If there's more to do, that will be clear as well. Be open. Do not judge where you are at. This is about transformation for you. Opportunities that become available on the other side of this quest. Opportunities that will become clear to you, that have everything to do with who you are becoming and hardly anything to do with the past. And so your higher self wants you to have a journey through time and space. And so your higher self invites you to lie down or sit somewhere in safety where your body, your physical body, can be safe while you journey. For the physical body is not required for this exercise, but your light body is. And so as you peruse safety, find that perfect spot and settle in. Because your physical body needs to be safe for this process to complete. And so, as you lie down or sit down, whatever is your preference, your higher self provides some extra pillows and a blanket. And you find that you are becoming very sleepy in this relaxed pose. Your safe place has imbued you with safety. And your mental eyes close, or your higher self helps you close your mental eyes. Perhaps you peek through and make sure your higher self is still there, reassured that your higher self is very much still there and watching you. You can gently close your eyes. And just to be sure, perhaps your higher self gently passes their hand of light over your eyelids, and you feel a tickle on your eyelashes that as you close them. And you notice your breathing gets a little deeper, a little slower as you relax and enter a beautiful dream-like state. Meanwhile, your higher self begins to create symbols above you, drawing them in the air above to unlock the chakra system one by one. Perhaps they start at your crown and move down to the first chakra and further down to the eighth. Perhaps they start with the eighth and then move from the first to the seventh. Whatever is right for you, your higher self knows exactly the combination of symbols that are required to release your light body from your physical body. At a certain point, your light body lifts out, and there you are, free as you look down upon yourself, sleeping gently, fully relaxed, contented. You notice a beautiful golden thread that links you to that physical body. It is a golden thread that never breaks. No matter how far you go, it will connect you so that you always find your way back. And so your higher self asks, are you ready? And you, feeling lighter and free to be, are of course enthusiastic. Yes. Answer yes when you are ready, and your higher self will take you by the hand and lift you even higher. And the you that is in repose becomes smaller and smaller until safety is gone. You are so far from safety now as a light being. You have a different kind of safety. Your higher self, your connection to all that is. As you move between the realms, your higher self has an idea that you need to revisit your wounding. You may not remember your wounding, or you may have done so much work with it that you definitely know your wounding. If you are vague about it, your higher self may choose to show you a wounding in another lifetime. And so as you've been drifting up higher and higher, down below a timeline appears. It may look just like a simple line drawn on a page. where one direction is the future and the other direction is the past. It may be more like a wheel of time with spokes, where each spoke is a lifetime. Or your sense of time may be different, maybe a spiral. Whatever time is for you, your higher self has represented it for you now, below you, well below you. You are not going into time so much as floating above it. And there in time and space, representing when the wounding occurred, is a glimmer of light. It might even be a bright light so that you cannot miss it, but some representation of the you that has experienced the wounding. And you are not alone in that moment. Your shadow is there with you, the aspect of soul that loves you enough to always gather whatever you set down that they know you will need in the future. And so allow your higher self to lead you closer. Let your curiosity grow. I wonder what I'm going to see this time. Will it be exactly the same as I expect? Or will there be a nuance, something different this time? Let it be whatever it is. If you are traveling down a spoke of the wheel into another lifetime, still you will be floating above time. You will not be in time in either case, but you will go to the event. And you will know when you are close because you will feel a sense of sorrow. A sorrow that the wounding had to happen. It is your soul's sorrow that you feel. Perhaps you covered up that sorrow with anger or resentment or martyrhood or victim. But as you draw closer, let yourself feel the sorrow that is of soul. Let the caring emerge that creates the compassion within you. Just the fact you needed a wounding is cause for sorrow. It was not punishment. You didn't do anything wrong. Your higher self took the opportunity to help you move inward. For you expanded far beyond and had some misunderstandings that needed to be healed. As you float above the you that has had the wounding, perhaps you see yourself sitting alone. Perhaps you see the lifetime you are visiting, sitting alone, wondering what just happened. My whole world has been shattered, has been destroyed. My sense of self is lost, has been obliterated. I thought the world would be safe for me. I thought for certain I would belong. But none of that is true for me. And as you drift above the you that has had the wounding, you notice the tears, you notice the anguish. Perhaps there's silence instead. And let yourself feel your compassion for the you that is wounded. Perhaps you get a sense of what happened. Also, look to see, what did I make it mean about me? What did I make it mean that I'm wounded? That things are different now? That I can't trust reality? I can't trust anyone the way I thought I could. Whatever was decided, let your higher self help you see it now. And as you're floating above the you, notice that you are not actually alone. From your perspective, you see the more real. And you see a little ways away the dark shadow, clothed all in black, perhaps faceless, perhaps nameless. But you sense the compassion, the caring, born of sorrow in this one. And you notice that one is picking up aspects of self that look like little gems scattered around at your adolescent's feet. And the shadow carefully picks up one after the other. Shattered dreams, qualities denied, decisions not to ever become anything of meaning, decisions to go it alone and never be trusting again, never to be dependent on anyone else. I'll just be alone. I don't belong now. I never will. I have settled it. And so belonging goes into the shadow. Aspects of self needed in the future were set down in that moment. I will never be right. I will never care. I will never be gracious. Whatever it is, your shadow picks it up in the form of a little gem filled with light, twinkling as it gets put in the shadow, disappearing for now. It's so easy to see the impact the wounding had. Hard to imagine. How do you change it? It was a face of soul. I needed it. And your higher self says, but you have grown. You have changed. You are no longer that wounded adolescent. You have resources that you can bring to make a difference to this one. You don't need to leave your adolescent there, wounded. And so you float down into the space. You look like an apparition, a ghost perhaps, but from the future. Introduce your higher self to your adolescent self. Tell them you are from their future. This wounding has had so much impact. It's time to heal it. It's time to be free of it. But you cannot be free of it until you restore what was set down. And so wave your hand and invite your shadow forward. And your adolescent, startled, where did you come from? And your soul's shadow speaks in a loving tone. We have always been with you. We cannot let you lose anything that matters. Everything of soul will be restored to you. And you notice in the adolescent a spark of hope that maybe there is hope for change. Maybe this wounding is a turning point. Doesn't need to be a disaster. And the adolescent asks, can you restore to me what I put down? And the shadow says, yes. What would you like to have restored? You, as the observer, would want them to have everything all at once. That is not necessarily for your adolescent's highest good, though everything will be returned in good time. Your adolescent is keenly aware of what was put down, and let them ask now what they want back, what they realized they should have never set down. And the shadow brings forth a beautiful gem, placing it in their heart. The gem expands and fills your adolescent with a beautiful light, restoring what was lost, what was set down, what was denied. There may be one or two more things your adolescent wants. Let them have those be restored as well. Allow them to ask for it by name. Their participation is important to their healing. And as they are restored, something miraculous is happening in your adolescent. You notice there's a sparkle returning, a curiosity, a wonder, wanting to know how this all works, wanting to know how could it be that they hadn't noticed until now, wanting to inquire about the mysteries of the universe. It's as though their spirit has been resurrected. And the shadow turns to you, thanking you for witnessing, for participating, for activating the change. And the shadow asks you, is there anything that you desire to have restored to you? Ask for it by name. And the shadow brings forth a gem for you, placing it in your heart. Feel the energy expand within you. And notice you too are awakening more curiosity, more wonder, joy. Your higher self turns to your adolescent and asks, where would you like to be instead? Are you in the right environment, or would you like to change it now? It is your choice. And whatever they answer is the right answer. Do not judge their answer. They may be quite content to continue in their domain, or they may have responded with, I thought you'd never ask. I really do want to change things. I want to be more, to be more free, to be more adventurous. I want to have more of a life. And so, as your higher self provides them with whatever it is they need, notice within you, you too are willing to have more, to be more, to do more. Whichever domain your adolescent chooses, the shadow joins them. They are still keeping watch over your adolescent, waiting for the moments when the adolescent awakens and asks for more. And your higher self nudges you back. Your attention needs to be back on returning to safety. And so, before you know it, you are lifting higher and higher. Let yourself feel the gratitude. Let yourself feel the care that is in your heart. As you lift higher and higher, the timeline becomes smaller and smaller until you are so high above the time it disappears. For it truly is an illusion. And now your attention goes to safety, and you notice the golden thread, and you remember, oh, that's the way back. And your higher self leads you. As you come closer and closer, you descend further and further until you notice there you lie, just where you left yourself, lying in safety, or perhaps sitting in a chair, resting, relaxing, dreaming beautiful dreams. And as you get closer, your light body simply aligns with that resting figure. As you float above, your higher self works their magic and settles you in and begins the process of locking in your chakra centers, drawing the symbols in the air above the chakra, one after the other until all are complete and you sense your physical body once more. Your eyes flutter open, and there, your higher self, reassuring you, you are back in safety. It's time to return. And so they help you up. Take a moment to remember what was restored and what did your adolescent choose next. Just take a moment to remember. And also notice how much more energy you have after this process. It's as though your spirit has awakened even more than usual. It is time to return. And so your higher self says their goodbyes and moves to the edge of safety as you prepare to return to the here and now. We will count from 1 to 5. With each number, you will return a little bit more so that at the number 5, you are completely back, fully alert, fully awake. 1, 2, returning. 3, sense your fingers and your toes, wiggle them about a bit. 4, and 5, open your eyes. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale to ground. It went deeper than you know. And so take a moment, rub your legs or your arms or gently tap your forehead. Get yourself back in your body.